It drives people to do things that most of us would find hard to imagine. I'm Stephen J. Cannell, and you're about to meet some men and women whose greed brought them more than they expected. It brought them to the attention of U.S. Customs, whose determination to stop these money-hungry criminals is documented in the true stories from the files of U.S. Customs Classified. Today on U.S. Customs Classified, customs agents infiltrate a plot to assassinate the leader of a South American country. And a gang of car thieves hide their stolen vehicles right under the watchful eye of U.S. Customs. Plus, exclusive Customs infrared footage tracks a group of fugitives as they try to escape in the dark. But first, we begin with a case from Puerto Rico. 27-year-old Ricardo Molina, a suspected drug smuggler and a full-time Army Reserve officer, had a well-earned reputation for brutality.
Pasa, amigo. ¿Dónde están las drogas? ¿Que dónde están las drogas?
Te lo juro que no sé, mano, no sé. No sé dónde están, te lo juro que no sé.
Qué pena.
It was rumored that anyone who crossed Molina was marked for death. There's probably no criminal more deadly than a drug dealer. He's someone who feeds off other people's addictions, trading in a commodity that causes millions of deaths every year. But even veteran agents were caught off guard by the brutality of Ricardo Molina, a man who was ready to set a deadly trap for U.S. Customs.
We infiltrated an organization attempting to smuggle 10,000 pounds of marijuana into Puerto Rico from Colombia. We were able to pick up the narcotics south of Puerto Rico, approximately 150 miles, in an undercover vessel.
The next step of the operation was to deliver a truck filled with the marijuana to members of Molina's gang. Undercover agents would then follow the truck in hopes of locating his headquarters and arresting the notorious criminal. Because of Molina's violent reputation, airborne backup as well as heavily armed ground crews were put on alert.
One of the agents had painted an H with a circle on top of the roof of the truck to make it easier to spot. My job at that point was to make sure I kept the helicopter on standby in the air. Unfortunately, the weather set in, and the tower, this La Grande, would not let the aircraft take off.
Despite this serious setback, it was too late to shut down the operation. Phase 1, the delivery of the truck, was already in motion.
Let us know if we have the eyeball.
A few minutes later, 2 of Molina's gang arrived and took control of the truck.
2909, somebody's getting close to the truck. Be advised, the truck is moving,
Phase 2 had begun.
And the idea was to follow in a loose tail with all the cars involved. And as we would, go through the streets and all that, exchange positions so we wouldn't get burned.
But U.S. Customs agents weren't the only ones following the load truck. A van and a car carrying a group of Molina's heavily armed henchmen had formed a convoy.
The convoy is turning left. The convoy is turning left on the Monte Hatillo.
At this point, the truck starts making a left turn at the light.
Looking at us, man. They're looking at us.
This time I'm trying to call, that's what the air asks us. We need the helicopter, we need the plane, and I'm trying to call these guys with no luck. I'm trying all the frequency I can, no luck. We can't talk to anybody.
Apparently aware that they were being followed, the convoy entered the narrow streets and alleys that surrounded Molina's headquarters and positioned themselves at strategic points. Now all they had to do was wait for the unsuspecting agents to drive straight into their trap. Caught off guard and outgunned, the 3 agents suddenly found themselves in a desperate situation that they will never forget.
First I was scared. I was scared. I was scared the whole time. I'm actually frozen there. I'm like, what to do? What the hell am I? I think I'm trying to shrink in the vehicle. it's not safe out there. And then I realized it's not safe in here.
I opened the door and I rolled down. It's like a slow motion. I mean, everything froze. When I looked down, what I could see was the blood and the bones out. I saw the blood coming out of my arm. I knew he had hit some serious arteries, so I took out my belt and did a tourniquet.
While Agent Roman provided cover, Agent Rivera attempted to rescue their seriously wounded partner.
My buddy was on the ground, Felix, there, and I said, I knew how to get to him. I'll help him finish tying the tourniquet, then start trying to get him out of there.
At that moment, the backup team arrived.
Those guys would have gotten there later, we would have been there, because I think these guys would have had us right in there. They could have finished us right there with the amount of firepower they had.
Agents and Puerto Rico police responded to the scene, which basically resembled a war zone.
With the sides more evenly matched, Molina's gang quickly retreated.
A customs helicopter, finally taken off from the airport, still under bad weather conditions, landed in a vacant field across from the housing project and was able to evacuate Agent Roman. The helicopter, after rescuing Agent Roman, took off from the vacant lot and located the truck approximately a quarter of a mile from the shooting scene.
Customs agents stormed the building believed to be Molina's headquarters. But despite a massive manhunt, Molina managed to escape.
Later that evening, we were contacted by the Puerto Rico Police Department and advised that there was a subject there dressed in military fatigues, handcuffed, without boots.
The handcuffed man was none other than Ricardo Molina. He claimed that he'd been nowhere near the ambush and offered authorities an implausible alibi, saying that he was the victim of a carjacking. But after several hours of questioning, Molina changed his story.
During the interview, he went on to tell us how he was smuggled out of the area in the trunk of a vehicle and left off the side of the road and concocted a story about the carjacking.
Ricardo Molina was convicted on 3 counts of attempted murder of a federal agent and was sentenced to more than 50 years in prison. Agents Juan Roman, Raul Antonio Rivera, and Felix Manguel continued to serve U.S. Customs. All of the agents involved in the ambush and rescue were commended for bravery in the line of duty. Some received meritorious service awards, others commissioner's unit citations. But the greatest reward for everyone who participated in Operation Ambush was that no customs agents' lives were lost that day.